as always, it feels good to be back on the camera, back on the mic, back on the podcast, talking through our pizza journey. Not a whole lot happened. Well, I'll take that back. There has been quite a few things that have happened over the last couple of weeks, and I haven't had a whole lot of opportunities to, really get a chance to sit down and record and talk through it. So that's what I wanted to do today, was kind of recap the weekend at the California restaurant show. We got good pizza of the week, quick little team building tip. And I had a topic that came up with someone that I was talking to, and it really sparked a question in my head that I wanted to ask the pizza community and then kind of get my thoughts on it. So, with that being said, we'll just jump right into it. Pizza of the week was dope. So, before I even go there, a couple of weeks ago, we had the opportunity to go out to Los Angeles for the California restaurant show. We had a nice session, a nice speaking session, talking about team building and leadership, which is typically what we talk about when we get on the stage and in front of a crowd. We talk about team building, we talk about leadership, we talk about soft skills, we talk about the skills and experiences that I've had as a leader in the restaurant business. So no exception there. Went out there, did our thing, took the family, just had a great couple of days enjoying that environment with them. So much love for California, and the pizza scene, of course, is as dope as everything else in California and LA, Southern California. So pizza of the week comes, really I had two pizzas, and both based around the same thing, which is that vodka sauce. First one is the MVP pizza at South Bay Pizza. Shout out to my guy Louis over there. They blessed us with 4 or 5 different pizzas. I think we had their white pie, we had the MVP, we had a buffalo chicken, we had cheese, we had a pepperoni, like regular pepperoni. He had the pizza cookie, garlic knots were fire. I mean, like, everything was so dope about that experience. But especially the pizza that I had, that MVP, the marinara vodka pesto pizza. That boy was on point like Stacey Adams. That thing was just busting. So shout out to Louis. Didn't get a chance to connect directly, but I hit him up once we ordered, and then I hit him up like, man, I had to come by for some pies. And again, they showed us mad love. We stayed out, we ate out on the patio, and they showed us so much love with just taking care of us with desserts and drinks and all that. So, if you ever get to that Redondo Beach area, you got to go check out South Bay Pizza, because my man is he's doing the thing over there. And then the second one also had vodka sauce. I had the next day from Hot Tongue Pizza, which was the vodka pizza. Turned out to be an award-winning pizza. Shout out to Alex, and winning second place in the non-traditional pizza competition at the show with that vodka pizza. And I'm telling you, I got a chance to get by the store to grab a slice. It was so, listen, you couldn't even, you had to be so quick to get some of the pizza that the competitors were making in the pizza competitions, because everybody knew, these are the best pizza makers bringing their best stuff to the competition, and you want to get your hands on some, you want to get some of that shit, so you had to be quick. And I had to learn that, all right, let me be close when those pies come out, because they slice up a few for the judges, and then they give the rest out to the people standing around, and it's usually it's all the pizza guys. So everybody wanted to try everybody's stuff, and that one went so quick, and I didn't get a chance to get some at the competition, but I did get by the store to get a slice, and that thing was as advertised, absolutely fantastic. Just a not only a beautiful looking pizza, but excellent combination of flavors. So yeah, shout out to Hot Tongue and Alex for that award-winning pizza, the vodka pot, and obviously there's so many other pizza places in LA and just in California in general that I want to get to. So I'm looking forward to, kind of making that annual trek out to the West Coast, for that show and, for the pizza scene and the pizza experience with some of those other, operators and restaurants that I follow and, try to stay connected with. So, and if you know any other ones that I need to throw on the list, please send that to me. Send them to me or connect me with the operator, or if it's you, hit me up. Let's talk, let's link up. Let's become pizza friends, because I want to come try you. I'll bring the family, and we'd love to just come be patrons of your business. The restaurant show itself though was a whole other experience. And when I tell you, a lot of fun. And I'm used to going to shows and expos. I've been doing it for a while, but this is the first time that my whole family has been able to go. And I've taken, the boys. I don't know if I've taken all the boys before. I know I took TJ to the Roma show here in Orlando. I don't know that he's been to any other shows. And that was, going to the Roma show in Orlando was just like a family reunion for me. So he got to experience that and meet a lot of people that I work directly with here in Florida. So that was a good experience. But going to the West Coast was like exposure on another level for them. Obviously they love the Hollywood scene and, seeing the hills. I mean, to be on the beach and see the mountains is just crazy to me. We're used to beach, but we're not used to being on beach and having mountains in the background. That shit is like, that's unreal. But at the show, it was a totally new experience, because they got to see, what it's like from the inside, the behind the scenes, and see all the things on the vendors that kind of make us go. And they tried a lot of things, and they tried foods and tasted things, and they saw companies and devices and, brands that they're just not used to seeing. And they had a lot of questions, but they were just intrigued by the whole display of it all. It was a little bit much for them. And there was a big coffee conference right next door in the expo hall. So it was like double the fun. The one thing, or a couple of things that stand out was, first we tried like duck fat everything, duck bacon, duck fat cookies. Fantastic flavor. Adrian he's my little soldier when it comes to trying new things, new foods, new experience. He's always the one that's like, I'll go first. So he tried that and he loved it. He loved the duck bacon. He loved the duck fat cookies. We were in another part. Actually, I think I was off looking at pizza equipment, and he ran up to me and he's like, you gotta come try this. And he takes me over to a stand, and he gives me this it was like a little wafer with a mousse on it, and it was a salmon mousse. And I throw it down real quick, and he looks at me, and him and the guy that's working the booth, like they make eye contact and laugh. I guess he just been there. He's like, you just ate caviar. You just ate fish eggs, daddy. And it was a salmon mousse with caviar on top. So shout out to my little guy for trying the caviar and liking it and enjoying it, and then making a big ass joke to come and get me to make me try it so that he can laugh. I thought that was pretty funny. The guy's like, I see you came back. So he's out there, making friends and, just enjoying the whole experience of it all. So, I really enjoyed that. There was a couple of things that I thought were, really just like, my big takeaways, I guess you could call it, my big takeaways from the show. The first one is when you look at all of the vendors that are there, you look at all of the, service providers, companies, products that are out there working. So besides all of the food stuff, I was surprised to see how much of a step AI and automation has taken over the last couple of years. Obviously, we're all familiar now by this point with, like ChatGPT and, all these other, these other AI platforms, that are, part of social media and, things that we kind of use already. But on the hospitality side, we're starting to see, just improvements in all aspects of AI and automation. And there are some tools out there that are coming there and that are here that can seriously help some businesses. And it's here to stay, and they're going to improve and they're going to get better. So, my advice is to embrace it, learn who these companies are and how their products may or may not be able to help your business and what you do. Because when I tell you there's a wide range of products that are, automation and AI focused, anything from onboarding and recruiting to order taking, delivery routing, even, marketing assistance and things like that, is limitless to what some of these things can do operationally for your brand. So I think that was really the biggest takeaway for me, was like, damn, we really got to embrace AI. And I know, like, there's some I'm an old school operator. I consider myself to be an old school operator. And a lot of the times it's hard to see past the things that, like, I know the things that I need to do on a day-to-day basis, and I know what I'm good at, I know what I'm not good at. I try to stay in my lane and do the things, like, but there are tools on the way that can do the things that I do better than me, which will allow me to do other things or learn and grow in other areas that I need to in order to help my business. And I have to embrace that as an operator, because if I can take scheduling off of my plate or have a tool that helps my food ordering or my inventory controls, that's a huge time saver and a sure, sometimes I guess at some point we can call it a surefire tool to make sure these, things are happening the right way. So not everything's foolproof. There's always going to be some hiccups, especially when it comes to technology, but shit, there's hiccups when it comes to, there's human error and everything. There's human error in there. I got a kid on our team. We call him Wreck-It Ralph, because his ass is he gonna break something almost every shit. So, like, we make mistakes and we do that too. But when I tell you that AI is doing it a lot less frequently, it's actually encouraging to see where it's going. When I was with Checkers, we looked at AI drive-through attendance, and even at this point, which, we're probably talking 3-4 years ago, the AI drive-through attendant was 98% accurate on order taking. And hell, we were only shooting for 80% accuracy with our regular order takers. Like, on our daily metrics, we're shooting for 80% accuracy on orders, and the AI was 98% accurate. And you know what I mean? So, and you see where this is going. I don't want to, that's a totally different conversation on, how AI can or cannot replace people and do jobs. But I'm just telling you that there are tools out there that can help what you do. So it'd be worth your time to investigate, learn, and, likely implement some of these things into your operation. Second biggest takeaway was leadership development, team building are still hot buttons on the educational platform, on the educational sessions. So obviously we did our session, which is on, team building through leadership development. But when I tell you, nearly every other session was on the same subject, not exactly the same subject, but not all of them, a majority of the educational sessions were on some form of team building, leadership development, hiring, training, all focused on people. And there were some that were, you had a couple marketing, social media, you had a couple marketing sessions, you had, I think there may have been like one that was on, restaurant financials, but overwhelmingly the sessions were around team building, leadership development. So if you don't think it's important, I caution you to check again. You have to be thinking about it, and look at the environment that we're in. Minimum wage continuing to grow up. We're about to see another hike in minimum wage here in Florida in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Another $1. That's a crunch on a restaurant. So how you manage your human resources becomes even more critical for your business, because those dollars got to come from somewhere. And these aren't things that we can always just pass on to the customer, these costs, because they're they're inflating at a rate that's way faster than what we can keep up with pricing. Like our customer can barely afford to keep up with the cost of things as is. And we're all consumers. We get it. We're living it too. We're buying, the fuel and, the eggs. I was looking at the commodity report this morning. Eggs up 167% from a year ago. And almost everything in dairy was way up. Cheese up 20%, milk's up 60% from last year. Like commodities, not every commodity, but the high value and high dollar commodities are up. Oddly, and totally different tangent. And first of all, and thank Eric Parks, my guy, for sending the commodity report every week, just to get an eye and understanding what the trend looks like, so we get to know what, how beef is moving, how poultry's moving, what dairy's doing, what corn. And we used to have this thing where corn, you could watch the price of corn and it would kind of give you indicators on where everything else was going, because corn was such a widely used product, and, manufacturing and, fuel and all these other different, corn has roots in almost every product, right? So you could watch corn and kind of get an understanding of where the rest of the market was going, but it doesn't look like that anymore, because corn is down, and, some of the, wheat's down, corn's down, but the other products have gone up. So the industry is changing, and you got to pay attention to it. But that one shook me when I saw eggs up 100 and like I said, I think it was 167%. Wild. And you see it at the grocery store. You're shopping, you see it, you're experiencing it. So watch out for that. That means you're going to see it and we already see it in the grocery stores. More self-checkout lanes, less human interaction. You got robots cleaning floors and, doing other tasks. I see robots that are delivering food to tables. We go to the bowling alley and the robot brings us our pizza every time. So how you manage your labor and your payroll is going to be very critical to the future success of your business, because people are starting to cost a whole lot more and the talent pool is shrinking. Another podcast for that. And my last really big takeaway was, man, just the overall love in the pizza industry. Like, this was the California Restaurant Show, but it was also the first year that there was the Pizza Tomorrow Summit Pavilion there. So there was a heavy pizza influence at this show. And when I tell you, there's not another industry that has more collaboration, more support, more just overall love and excitement for what everybody is doing, pizza's it. When it comes to hospitality, the pizza folks are not just because they'll, I'm a pizza guy, but because you could just see it and feel the love. Like, everybody's supporting everybody's watching, everybody's, sharing everyone's, it's like everything is collaborative. You see recipes and we share ideas, and, everybody encourages everybody else on social media. It's not, at least not from what I can see, there's not a whole lot of infighting and hate in the pizza game. Everybody, it's just all love, and I love that. And it was clear to see there. So, shout out to all the incredible pizza makers and pizza companies that showed up for California Restaurant Show, because you made that experience feel like home for, folks that travel from afar like me. So, shout out to y'all for that. That was a good show, and looking forward to getting back next year's in Anaheim, which means I get to take the kids to Disneyland, and, we'll spend a few extra days. So that'll be a whole lot of fun. What else we got here today before we jump off? See if I got all my notes. Oh, a team building tip. Hell yeah. So, oh no, I'm not even going there. I have a topic. What? I have a topic. The question, so I said earlier that, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and he, here's what I love about what we're doing now and how much we've grown. Because of you guys, the audience, and how much we've grown and how much you share and how much you engage and interact, the show is growing, the reach is growing. People hear this and it resonates with folks. But now in my day-to-day life, people, talk to me, and obviously I'm coaching, I'm consulting. I'm in a franchise brand with other owners that I talk to on a regular basis. So I have, people call me or they have questions or we have conversations. It's gotten to the point where it's like, all right, you got, between you and me, like every conversation isn't for the entire world or the podcast community. And I think that's just a testament to the growth that we had when, it's like, he's probably going to talk about it. So let me tell him that let's keep this between us. And this was a keep it between us conversation. So I won't give out any details, but I'll just say the same things are true that we've talked about before when it comes to building and growing and being successful in this business. And I said it before in another podcast, when it comes to building up a pizza business or any business, in my opinion, any business, especially a restaurant business, you got to remember one thing, or you got to remember a couple of things. It's going to cost more than what you budgeted. It's going to take way longer than you planned to be successful. And the work that you're going to do is going to be way harder than what you expected. And I think that is, if not all of those things happen, at least two of those things are going to happen. It's either going to cost you way more money and you're going to work hard, but you got it done faster, or it's going to take you longer. You save money, but you worked your ass off. So like 2 out of the 3 are going to happen no matter what. And most likely all 3 are going to happen. So I get calls about, kind of like status checks and like, all right, am I on the right track? But this particular week we were talking about, how much should somebody work in a store that is losing money? Meaning like, all right, we got a store, we're losing cash, but I got a person that says they don't want to work more than this amount of hours. And this person is the guy, right? This is the guy. And really the question was, how hard is it for me to find the guy to do this in my place? And my answer is it's impossible to find the guy. There's no guy out there that's going to come in and just save it for you. It is possible to find a guy to execute your vision and execute your vision, your systems, your processes, and build upon success. But none of that happens overnight. It's going to take time, and it takes sacrifice and effort. But the question I had was, I wrote it down. How hard, is that the question? I read it different ways. Oh, how hard are you willing to work on your success? Are you really committed to this if you have limits on what you're willing to do? You know what I mean? Like, if you come into this and you're trying to build a $1 million store, $1 million in revenue, and you're doing 350,000, what are you willing to do to get there? Because you're not just going to wake up with an extra 650 in sales. It's going to take some effort. It's going to take time, and it's going to take money. And it takes consistency over that period. So like, what are you willing to do? Because if you have limits, you're probably not going to get the results that you're looking for a really long time. Meaning if you're not committed to, here's what I told him. You got to be the guy in order to find the person who's the next guy. Like, if you're not willing to do it, no one's going to be willing to do it for you, because no one's going to just give themselves to your dream. They have to be, people want to work on their own. They got their own dreams. They got their own goals. So you have to create a vision. You have to create a plan, a vision, and then you measure against the execution and make adjustments. But if you don't have that and you're just showing up, it's hard to get people behind that as a leader. Like, if you want to treat your place as if you're just one of the you're just a person that just showed up for your paycheck, how are you going to grow? How you gonna build on that? Because another thing that I like to say, no, the experience of the customer is never going to exceed the experience of the team, and the experience of the team is never going to exceed the experience of the leadership. So like if you're the leader in a place and you hate being there, who the hell else wants to be there? And you think the customers don't pick up on that? It's hard to grow a business that way. So you have to be all in, and you got to be all in. And it doesn't mean that you got to live there, but you do have to be committed to making sure that it works. And to me, that means you got to do whatever it takes. And that's, and if you got limits, and if you're telling yourself, I can't do this, I can't do that, I won't do this, I won't do that, it ain't gonna work. Unfortunately, it's not gonna work. So, my advice to my friend to give his associate is that, the success that you're looking for is right on the other side of that shit you don't want to do. So you might want to tighten the belt up and get to work, because it is, this isn't nothing, there's nothing automatic in this. Not at all. I don't want to go any deeper, because then I don't want to risk offending anybody with this. And I probably shouldn't even have said this much, but I think, it's just kind of hot on my mind. So I really needed to get it out. But I'll leave you with a quick team building tip. Still, this came from a conversation that I was having with someone. Again, I'll leave that person anonymous, but they had, they were just asking me, trust is a big thing in this business, right? From a leader, in any business, you got to be able to trust the people that you work with and the people that you work for. And when you witness your leadership doing things that lack integrity, it costs them the trust, and it's very hard for them to earn that back. So situation, they're at the job, and this person witnessed their leader, kind of tell a lie to another person that leads another team. Like, oh, I don't know. But, she's like, but she does know, because we just did it and seen that, and, whatever. So I don't understand why she wouldn't just say exactly what happened. And even though it was small, it makes them look at you differently as a leader. Like, well, damn, if you're willing to lie about something so small and so meaningless, how can I trust the things that you say to me? And that's what happens. And that's how you just compromise all of it. So that's my team building tip for all my leaders. Don't do anything to compromise the trust of the team. Don't lie. Don't gossip. That's a big one. Don't talk shit about people behind their back, because you lose all trust once you get labeled that kind of a person. Don't cheat the system. Don't cut corners. Follow the guidelines, stick to the brand guidelines, follow the systems, and stay and keep your integrity, because that will earn you a whole lot more in the long run as a leader. And that's my team building tip. Don't ever do anything to compromise the trust of your team. But that's all I got. Listen, come on the show. Y'all listening to me, I know I got pizza friends out there. Come on the show. Let's do this. I think it's time for me to officially graduate from recording this whole producing, editing, this whole podcast on my phone. I keep getting all these capacity alerts on my iPhone. I got to delete videos to make new videos. So it's time for me to graduate from doing this on my phone, which means I'm going, it's time to invest in the, camera and mic. I did buy like this little audio interface. So we're working on putting it together the right way. So it's going to be a whole lot nicer experience to bring guests on. We'll have better audio, things like that. So come on the show. Come talk pizza with me. You got a shop, or you got a friend want to shop, or you work in the shop, like whatever. Hit me up, info@tyrellreed.com. You can visit pizzakingpodcast.com or tyrellreed.com to reach me. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook. YouTube channel is still growing. Let's link up there, although it's not really easy to message and interact with people on YouTube. So if you want to hit me up on Instagram or email me. That's all I got this week. Pizza King Podcast. Holla at your boy.